Hi guys, how are you doing? This is v1.0 techcentury and welcome to my new video. So you might be asking yourself what this ugly office PC looking thing does right there, and well, it's a rather simple answer. While I do enjoy Macs, as you see right there, there was always something that I wanted to do, and that was building a custom PC. And so while I never really pulled through with it, a few weeks ago I decided to pull the trigger and to finally do it. So those are my basic components that you see right here. And in this video I'm just going to go through all of those components and tell you why I chose them and also what you can expect in the future. So to start out with, let's take a look at the motherboard. So in this case I chose an Asus motherboard, and this is the P8Z77-V LX. And so a really long name, but this motherboard, at least in my opinion, is great because, for example, it features USB 3.0 support. You can also have crossfire configuration for your graphics card on this motherboard. Also has a really nice interface in the BIOS. Besides that, you'll also get GPU boost as well as CPU boost. So for example, with just pressing a button, you can already overclock your CPU, which is great. Also, you can choose from different speed profiles in the BIOS itself. So for example, you can just say you want to be energy saving, or you just want to have high performance, or just the usual configuration. And so I think this is a great motherboard. Besides that, it also supports the integrated graphics that are already in those Intel Core i processors. So for example, the Intel HD 2000, which is in the i3 processor right there, 3000 or 4000, it all works with this motherboard. So I think this is definitely a solid choice. To be honest, this was pretty much picked from the store for me, but so far I'm really happy with it. You can also configure things, for example, like Intel Smart Response technology, which uses the SSD to buffer some of your data and so on. So overall, great board, and I wasn't disappointed with it. Moving on, we'll take a look at the processor. In this case, I chose an Intel Core i3 2100, and this is a dual-core processor that's clocked at 3.1 GHz. Now, you might be asking, why did I choose this over, for example, a quad-core AMD processor that you get for the same amount of money? This retails for around 100 bucks, at least here in Germany. And one answer is it, the performance is pretty similar, and actually the i3 still outperforms a lot of those quad-core AMD processors, even some of the 6-core processors. But with that, it uses a lot less energy, so you have a lot less heat. So I think overall this is a better choice. Also, since the motherboard supports this Intel Core i3 processor, I can just exchange it at any time for an i5, an i7, and especially those i7 processors are hardly matched by anything that AMD has to offer. So I think, at least for me, that's the perfect choice. One thing to also mention about the Intel Core i3 is that it has the Intel HD 2000 integrated. So at least to start out with, you don't really need a dedicated graphics card. You can just use the Intel HD 2000, and this is also what I did for a few weeks. So this even performs pretty good. So for example, I was able to play Dirt 3, of course at low settings, but it was definitely playable. So even that looked great. And for example, older titles definitely work flawlessly. So this is also definitely a plus, that you don't really need a dedicated graphics card right to start out with. Moving on to storage, or well, I should rather say boot up drive, I used a SanDisk 64GB SSD. Now this isn't a SanDisk Extreme SSD, this is just a standard SanDisk SSD. Now this basically means that you don't get the best speeds, but they are around 300 megabits, so definitely a lot faster than any really conventional hard drive that you will find on the market. And so I just use this for the operating system and some of the applications that I use a lot of the times. But besides that, I also have 1.5 terabyte of storage in here, and those hard drives I actually just didn't buy. I still had them lying around as external hard drives, and I just tore them apart, and so I just had internal hard drives in them, and so I really just put them into the machine itself. Now if we continue to the RAM, I just bought 4 GB of Kingston RAM, and this I believe at 1600 MHz. Now 4 GB isn't really that much, and I still really want to upgrade it anytime soon. But one of the great things also about this motherboard is that it supports up to 32 GB of RAM, so I can just upgrade it anytime, and that's so definitely a great choice. And so the RAM from Kingston, the friends over at Kingston, I mean, I bought this myself, but still I think it's a great choice. The RAM performs without any issues. And last but certainly not least, this beautiful case. So I'm joking, it's not a beautiful case, it looks like an office machine. But anyway, so this is an LC power case, and I actually just bought it because it was cheap, to be honest. And so this case actually already had the power supply built in, which was a 430 watt power supply. And so the power supply as well as this case combined was 40 bucks for me. So I just couldn't turn that down. So that's why I have this ugly case right here. Now, this pretty much wraps up the really like 1.0 version of my PC, or soon to be gaming PC. And one thing I want to mention is that this configuration won't stay the same for long. So the i3 is definitely here to stay, the SSD as well, on the motherboard. But besides that, I already have a new PC case actually down there, which I'll show in a future video, as well as the real parts itself, how they look in the case. Now, besides that, I also bought a new PSU today, which is from Thermatalk. And then I also have a graphics card coming, so I'm not going to be stuck on the Intel HD 2000. So I actually ordered an ADI HD 7850 today. So this should be an amazing graphics card, and I'm definitely going to keep you updated on that and just overall on the progress. So if you really want to see where this rig, I'm not sure if you can call it like that, where this machine is evolving to, certainly make sure to subscribe if you aren't already. And besides that, just let me know. This overall configuration that you see right here was total, I believe, of 360 euros. I bought this in just a real retail store. I didn't buy that online. I think if you do some searching around on Amazon and so on, then you can probably get it even cheaper. But I think for around 350 bucks, this really is a great configuration. And also this case, while it looks ugly, it really does the job. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. It's probably not what you were expecting. Well, maybe you did if you're following me on Twitter, which is @techcentury. But besides that, just let me know what you guys think about this system overall. Have you built a PC on your own? And I certainly have to say that this was one of the best choices I ever made. I really enjoyed the building process. I also have to give a big shout out to Duncan33303, I believe it is, because he just has some amazing videos on how to build a PC. I was absolutely clueless on how to do it, but I just watched this video and I was just building the PC. So just overall great videos. And if you want to build a PC, just watch his videos and that's all you need. You don't need anything else. And this now finally completely wraps it up. Sorry for taking so long. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing my next video, especially about all those new components and also the new case, which is down there and which looks pretty amazing. So I can't wait to share this with you guys. Thanks for watching and I hope to see you in my next video.